The 13th annual Southern African Railway Association conference is currently underway in Sandton with the theme Boosting Continental Trade via Rail. The region's railway stakeholders, regional governments, companies, customers, suppliers and captors of an industry are there, and one of them is Gibela Rail. We're joined now by their board chairperson and prominent South African businesswoman, Irene Charnley. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the late edition. Perhaps let's remind our viewers of the work of Gibela Rail, which is quite important in terms of being an economic enabler in South Africa. You're a supplier of locally produced trains and recently reached a milestone, delivering your 200th train to Prasa. How valuable would you say your work is?
Absolutely valuable and absolutely important. So good evening, Mpho. Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. Very happy to be on your show and to just share a bit of Gibela with you. It's an amazing project. I call it a private-public partnership because Gibela is a private company owned by two shareholders. Majority shareholder is a group from France, Alstom, and the local BE group it's Umbumbano Group. They are the shareholders, and they got a contract from Prasa through a whole process many years back to deliver 600 trains to Prasa, and I'm saying passenger trains. Mm-hmm. So Gibela manufacture passenger trains. I don't know if you've seen them, the beautiful blue trains that you see. They manufacture these trains in Ekurhuleni in a 52,000 square meter of factory. Just hear me out, 52,000 square meters. That means you walk almost a kilometer. The latest equipment, including robots, employing 1,200 people. 80% of those people are young people, and 40% are women. It's engineers, young people. It's just an amazing factory. So this is not just an assembly plant, this is a manufacturing, where a local company uses local steel, South African steel. I think we use about 40 million tons of steel a year from Columbus Steel, locally produced, etc., manufacturing this, and we've empowered roughly 65% of our suppliers are local. They didn't exist before Gibela, but they were developed through a process, because one of the significant aspects of what Gibela is doing is that it's a government project. It's actually a success story of what government through Prasa was doing, ensuring that there's a delivery mechanism through the private sector where they can deliver manufactured trains, develop local suppliers, build the capacity, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So as you know, it's Women's Month. I must add here that 60% of our management team, including the executives, are actually women in Gibela.
Yeah, you jumped right into my next question. You jumped into it, and of course, it is quite an opportunity that we speak during Women's Month. The new Minister of Transport, who also happens to be a woman, opened the conference. Yes. What are your thoughts on her strategy for the transport sector and the speech that she made yesterday?
What the minister was very clear. Firstly, she praised Gibela, yes, because it's a flagship project of Prasa. And what she is encouraging is, obviously, the conference is all about encouraging and advancing intercontinental trade for both people and goods. So it's trying to get infrastructure, railway infrastructure across the continent. So they had people, she acknowledged people from Namibia, from Swaziland, representatives from Botswana, from Zimbabwe. The whole SABC countries were there because they're obviously encouraging the trade. So the minister is very positive. Not only did she encourage the trade within the continent, but also within South Africa. You know, all of us, you, I, the minister, Prasa, everybody in our country want to ensure that we have reliable and safe transport that is integrated from rail to road.
Yeah.
That our people, ordinary people from the township can travel. You know, millions of them get up very early in the morning to get to work. The trains that we are producing, delivering to Prasa, will get those trains running, and it's already running. Comfortable trains, reliable and safe, getting our people to work, and it is cost effective. People will actually save more money, and money that will go back into our economy. So we're very, very proud of what's happening.
Yeah.
But our minister's very, very positive, and I'm very confident that the Department of Transport, under the current minister, who's a woman, as well as the deputy minister, that they are going to deliver an integrated transport plan. I'm sure of that, based on what they are doing now.
You say the trains are already running, but we know that for a very long time the trains were not running. Dozens of these trains were left to stand idle because the Prasa had failed to accommodate them because of the irregularities on the rail. And of course, you talk about the new blue trains promising a renewal for the commuter rail for the country, where they kept coming out of your factory in Dunnata, but the depots of Prasa were not ready to receive them. How would you say that time affected your operations, or did it have an impact at all?
Look, COVID had an impact because we slowed down operation, but we are on track to deliver 600 trains within, in fact, by 2030, we have to deliver 600 trains. As you said, we've delivered just on about 250 trains. One thing I can say to you, our trains are running Cape Town, KZN, Johannesburg, on the main lines, all right? Mm-hmm. And ordinary people are enjoying it. What you're saying, what happened at Prasa, I always say that is in the past. When we look forward, we look ahead what's happening now and where they are moving towards. They're opening the corridors all the time. They're upgrading the depots, they're fixing the tracks, they're getting our trains on there. Currently, in most of the lines, our trains are there maybe in some instances, every hour. We are now encouraging and trying to work together as a team to ensure that Prasa can get trains online maybe every 15 minutes. Can you imagine the impact that is going to have? And this is a coordinated effort where everybody puts their effort, their energy in to get those trains online. The only reason we're doing that is because the people of our country needs to benefit. Our economy needs to benefit, and that's why we're doing it. So I can assure you, do yourself a favor, Paul, get onto that train just to experience that actually the luxury of these trains, and this is in our country, produced in our own country. Yeah. It's such a good news story for our country.
It sounds amazing.
I'm very proud.
And I'll let you know.
I'm very proud. Yes.
I'll let you know once
I've
been on the train. But very lastly, before we let you go, Irene, what would you say Gibela's role is at the SARA conference? What are you hoping to achieve as you go there?
I think all Gibela is at SARA. It's almost displaying our manufacturing capacity, because the capacity that Gibela has in manufacturing passenger trains, we could effectively do that for the rest of Africa. And somebody was saying, oh, but maybe there's a power issue, etc. I'm like, look, so one train, consists of 6 carriages. One of those carriages we can convert into with batteries or diesel. There is hydrogen power, but if there's a lack of power, you use batteries or diesel. So, and these trains can run. So we are showcasing the manufacturing capacity that Gibela has to manufacture for the rest of sub-Saharan Africa and even for Africa, because we have that capability in our factory.